All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. So here we are, the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. What was going to happen? Who knows? But now we finally know. I have seen it, and I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you have seen it too. So let's get right into this thing. So I'm going to just start off by saying 2 words, and that is Luke Skywalker. Luke fucking Skywalker, dude. I cannot believe this. I will just start off by saying, this is just one of the greatest moments, I think, in the history of Star Wars. I have not had that feeling since the end of Rogue One, where Darth Vader, we see Darth Vader kicking absolute ass. That was just a jaw-dropping moment. This moment was this was crazy. I cannot believe we saw Luke Skywalker, in the flesh, that's crazy. We're going to get to that in great detail, but this is a review, so we're going to go from the beginning, and we'll lead up to that. But here we go. I just wanted to start off by saying that. So, of course, this episode, we have the Mandalorian and his whole crew going to, Moff Gideon's ship to take back Baby Yoda. No point in calling him Baby Yoda anymore. It's freaking Grogu is his name. Put some respect on it. I'm talking to myself, but yeah, Grogu. And, they have this plan, everybody else goes one way, creates a diversion, Mandalorian goes through the back, through the other, and then we see him and Moff Gideon come head to head, and Moff Gideon pretty much reveals, all but confirmed that, he said something along the lines of, I already have what I want from him, you could take him, I only wanted his blood, we're gonna bring back order to the galaxy, boom, right there, order, aka First Order, aka freaking Snoke, so that's kind of been... like I said, I didn't say the word Snoke, but pretty much that's the deal with why they have Grogu and what they want from him. Anyways, they clash. Moff Gideon has his Darksaber. And the Mandalorian has his Beskar, his freaking sword, and they're clashing, and he kicks his ass, and he holds him prisoner, and, he doesn't kill him or anything like that. They go, of course, along the way there, he had to deal with the Death Troopers, and I just thought it was funny how in the beginning, for the past few episodes, the Death Troopers have been kind of hyped, at some point we were going to see them full, ready to go, and, at the beginning, he sends out all their asses to space, and I'm like, that's it, that's what we're gonna get, what the hell, but, they would come back later, but anyways, we see that, and we see them all, together. They have Moff Gideon, they have Baby Yoda now, but the Death Troopers come back from space, they're crashing through the blast doors. It's like, oh no, all hope is lost. Once the Death Troopers get in there, the Mandalorian can handle one, but they can't handle all of them. They're pretty much dead. However, this is it. This is the moment. And it was right here, right when this happened, I knew what was going on, because we see through with the cameras a freaking TIE fighter. And right when that happened, I was like, oh no, they fucking didn't. And yes, they did. It comes out and you see it. It's like him, it's Luke in his cloak and his all black. And I'm like, holy shit, it's Luke Skywalker. And I'm like, at this point, I got up out of my seat, my jaw dropped. I was screaming profanities. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, this is actually happening. And while it's happening, he's freaking chopping up the freaking Death Troopers. He's kicking their ass like it's nothing. And that's the coolest part about this moment, because this is the first time, I think we've seen it in canon. I think I remember in one of the episodes where he played as a character Luke what was it, Battlefront 2, and I think in some of the canon, some of the books I have not read, but but on the big screen, not the big screen, but this is at home, but we have not seen Luke Skywalker really in his prime. That's the crazy part about it. Everything we've seen from Luke, everything from the original trilogy, that was his journey, that journey. And then we see at the Return of the Jedi, he becomes a Jedi. And then we see in the return, in the Last Jedi, when he returns, it's just we missed that whole middle part of Luke in his prime. And then we saw that. That's why I say this reminds me of that moment at the end of Rogue One, where we see Darth Vader fucking just chopping everybody off in half. That's what we saw here with the Death Troopers. It's that same kind of thing going on here. And I was like, oh my god, he was just kicking their ass, and it was so easy. You just see at this point how powerful Luke is. It's because this is 5 years after Return Return of the Jedi. So at this point, Luke has been working on his game, and he's like, the only Jedi left at this point, I guess. Yeah, well, you have Ahsoka and whatnot, but still, like, it's Luke Skywalker, the man who saved the entire galaxy. And it's cool how he walks in there and he comes face to face with the Mandalorian, and he's like, "You're a Jedi," and he's like, "Yeah," and it's just like, he never really says his name. He doesn't say like, "Oh, I'm Luke Skywalker," but all they need to know is that he's a Jedi, because the whole point of this journey was to get Grogu to a Jedi so that he could be safely protected and trained. And we thought it was going to be Ahsoka. It wasn't. In a couple episodes ago, we saw him like, have that freaking Force like call out to the galaxy. Who was going to answer it? I almost forgot about it in this episode. I was so caught up in the story going on. I was like, dude, is that Jedi ever going to show up? Well, at the last moment, he freaking did. And, we see him there, and he, it's so sad. At this point, I'm already freaking crying because of, like, Luke Skywalker. I'm, like, tearing. I'm like, oh, my God, I can't believe it. But then now, it's like, the Mandalorian has to say goodbye. It was freaking basically his son. For the past 2 seasons, this relationship has just been the heart of the whole series. And, Mandalorian went through hell and back just to make sure that this kid, Grogu, got to safety. Now that he finally did, now he has to say goodbye. It was just so sad. He even takes his mask off to do it, and it's just like, man, that was definitely a really tearjerker. But oh my goodness, what an incredible moment! What an incredible end to this season. I cannot believe it. You had to know it. Like if this is taking place, post Return of the Jedi, it's like at some point I always had a feeling maybe Luke Skywalker would show up. Maybe they wouldn't do it, but like I don't know. It just kind of makes sense, and it makes sense given what's going on here. Who of all people would be the one to come and take Grogu? Freaking Luke Skywalker. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's a trip how freaking he was trained by Yoda. Now a baby version, a child of the same species of Yoda. And now like Luke is in possession of it, which is funny now. So now, okay, so that's the end of season 2. What the hell? Oh my goodness, Luke Skywalker. But now if we're talking about going forward, where does this series go? Like now that the Mandalorian doesn't have Grogu, seems like everything they got Moff Gideon in their possession. What's going to happen? And that leads me to believe, of course, we had that I think we saw a little bit of a tease, of course, where Moff Gideon is telling like the Mandalorian, because he's trying to hand the Darksaber to Bo-Katan, because of course whoever has the Darksaber is the rightful ruler of Mandalore, and that's been her MO since we've seen her from the beginning, is that Darksaber and how much she wants to be the ruler of Mandalore. And he says, he's like, yeah, you just tries to hand it to her, and he's like, no, you can't do that. You beat me for it. Now she's got to beat you. This thing can only be changed. It can only change hands with a duel, with combat. And, I thought they were going to throw it down right there at that moment. I was like, oh shit, it's going to go down. But it really didn't. I would say going forward in this series, I think it makes the most sense. I feel like the Mandalorian is going to get involved in the politics of Mandalore now, because he has the Darksaber. And like I said, they have to deal with that whole thing with Bo-Katan. I just think it makes sense. I mean, the name of the series is The Mandalorian. All throughout the series, we've learned more and more about his history and his history with the Mandalorians, everything from the armor, and now with Bo-Katan in here. It's just like, it just makes so much sense. That's where I want this series to go. I want to see Mandalore like in live action. I just want to see. I just think that's just the right place where it needs to go. Of course, you have the whole Moff Gideon and the Return of the Empire angle. That is not done with for sure. I don't think so. Whether Moff Gideon like escapes or something, or there's maybe another evil force out there who's trying to pick up the plans, pick up the pieces, and get this whole First Order thing going. That'll probably play a factor, of course. Either that, or maybe the Mandalorian just goes back to being a bounty hunter, doing missions, doing all that. But like I said, I would love to see him this series go to the system of Mandalore. Mandalore, it's just been talked about so much, the history, the lore, there's so much there. I mean, we might as well go to Mandalore itself. I think it's just the right thing to do. I think that's what's going to happen going forward. We will see. Well, the good thing is, like I've said before, no matter what happens, I think we as Star Wars fans just trust that, Dave Filoni, Hidalgo, Favreau, everybody is going to do right by Star Wars, do right by this series and how it plays out going forward. And I think they've shown us that we should have the most confidence in them, that they're going to do something cool next season, regardless of what happens. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it on this season, season 2. I still just can't believe it. That, like I said, that Luke scene, that's just one of those moments where I'm just gonna watch over and over again. It's just like, you look back, like I said, on that, like in that same scene with Rogue One and Darth Vader. It's just like, you remember the first time when you saw it. I'm always gonna remember, like, I'll never forget the moment when I see that TIE fighter come in and I see him beating the shit out of the Death Troopers. Like, my jaw was dropped. I was like teary-eyed, and I was just such an incredible moment. I'm just so thankful for the show and the creative people involved, that they give us those incredible moments. I mean, this whole season, it's been, like I said, it's been a cameo return after another, but it's been so well done. Whether it's Bo-Katan, when it was Boba Fett, like, it's just been so well done. I'm really pleased. I mean, I love the first season, but this season took it to a completely another level. Just an absolutely incredible show, The Mandalorian. And I want to say another thing is, like, we don't know. I gotta believe that we're gonna see Grogu at some point again. It would just be so hard for us to not see him again, or see him reunited with the Mandalorian in some capacity. However, I will say that I think going forward, if we're just going timeline here, and we're dealing with, the same species as Yoda, that slow aging process, they live for like thousands of years and whatnot. I think going forward, like, bigger picture in, like, Star Wars, like, let's say, because, we know how Luke's story ends up. Whatever is going to happen with Luke Skywalker and Grogu, whatever he trains, whatever their journey is, we know how Luke Skywalker's, we know where his story ends up. He tries to bring back the Jedi Order, of course, as we saw in The Last Jedi. Didn't turn out well. His nephew, Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, ruins that, takes everybody. So now, maybe Grogu was involved there. Did Grogu die? Was Grogu one of the Jedi that he was training, and that, like, Kylo Ren and his disciples, the Knights of Ren that left with him and left Luke Skywalker, did Grogu die there? I'd like to think that they wouldn't kill him off that way, but like I said, even let's say he survived that, maybe, or something, maybe he wasn't involved in that whatsoever. Maybe something happens with Grogu and Luke, that where Grogu goes his own way somehow. I don't know. However, I will say that I think that Grogu can be a big time, like, a huge character if we're talking going past the timeline of the Rise of Skywalker, whether that's like with a movie or another series, whatever they want to do. They have Grogu here. He is so powerful, and now that he's being trained by Luke Skywalker, who knows where his story ends up. But like I said, I think Grogu is just going to be one of those characters that we're going to be talking about maybe for decades to come in terms of Star Wars. Who knows where they're going to go with the timeline. Right now, they got the Obi-Wan series. They're kind of going back. They're kind of filling in some pieces here and there in the timeline of the galaxy. But like I said, whenever they decide to go forward with it, go past the Rise of Skywalker, why wouldn't Grogu be a huge part of that? I don't know. It seems, Grogu's been an absolute hit. Baby Yoda, Grogu, I mean, he's loved by so many people, and now, who knows, maybe we see him when he's older and he's like a Jedi. Maybe he's like, tries to bring back the Jedi Order, maybe in the distant future, who knows, but that's just me kind of guessing right now. But anyways, just sticking with right now, great series. I mean, I can't believe it. Luke freaking Skywalker, just an absolutely incredible moment. It's just, I want to know what you guys think about it. What was your reaction? Like, how did that all play out for you? Just leave your comments and whatnot. But like I said, that's pretty much going to be it for this review this season. It's been a fun ride. Thank you so much to everybody who's been along this journey. We will definitely be picking it back up. The Mandalorian will be returning next year. I think they said Christmas time, but I'll probably make a video whenever they drop like another trailer or something like that. So that's going to be it for the Mandalorian reviews. Thank you so much, like I said, for joining in. Stay tuned for like my movie reviews. That was kind of the main purpose of why I wanted to start this channel, was to do movie reviews. Of course, COVID circumstances, the movie industry is kind of taking a year off, I guess, but now, as we're seeing, I think these movies are going to be starting to be released via streaming service, whatever streaming service it is. And stay tuned for that if you want to watch those reviews. I will tell you right now, sneak peek, the next video pretty much that's going to come out is going to be my review of Wonder Woman 1984. It's going to be released on HBO Max, and it's dropping on Christmas, so I'm definitely going to want to be talking about that. And also I think Soul, the new Disney Pixar movie that's going to be released on Disney Plus. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for watching.